Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. I often find myself advising parents in consultation to tolerate the anxiety they're feeling about their adult child's estrangement instead of taking certain actions to relieve it. Having what feels like a growing rift between you and your child or children is anxiety-provoking. There's obviously nothing wrong with being anxious about it. The problem is that if we don't make the decision to consciously sit with anxiety and tolerate it on purpose, it tends to control our behavior, which can be unhelpful or even disastrous in estrangement. If you've ever done something from an anxious state of mind that you now regret, you know what it feels like to act on anxiety instead of tolerating it. But how exactly do you do that? What are the practical steps to take to tolerate anxiety? Well, this episode is my attempt at one answer to that question. These are 5 steps you might consider if you want to tolerate anxiety. Number 1, separate the trigger from the source. Your child and their behavior can certainly trigger anxiety within you, but they cannot produce anxiety within you. Think of a time when something was happening that would have made you anxious, but you didn't know about it. It happened, but it didn't make you anxious until you found out about it. For all of us, thanks to our biology, the only source of anxiety is our own minds and bodies. Sometimes it starts in the mind, such as when we think about something scary or upsetting, but it can also originate in the body with an overactive nervous system. In the body, anxiety might feel like tension, like you can't relax, like you can't get a full breath. Anxiety in the mind makes it hard to concentrate or think things carefully through, or feel happy. So the source of anxiety is never outside of ourselves, only the triggers are outside of ourselves. That knowledge is the beginning of being able to tolerate anxiety. Step 2. Focus on the source. If you have anxiety, it's not the only solution for your child or anyone else to change what they're doing. You can relieve anxiety by focusing on your body and mind. We know from research and experience that the mind and body are in a constant feedback loop. If we think anxious thoughts, our breath becomes shallow and our muscles get tense, and so on. If our breathing is shallow and our muscles are tense, our minds can't be at ease. The good news about this reliable two-way influence of mind and body is we can make it work for us. It's impossible to feel anxious in a physically relaxed body. Some people have trouble relaxing for various reasons, and if that's true for you, you might find it helpful to work with a somatic therapist, a professional who's focused on the body-mind relationship. And there are different modalities within that field. I'll put a few links in the show notes to get you started, but I encourage you to explore beyond them. Step 3. Separate the need to soothe your anxiety from the desire to fix your relationship. Soothing ourselves and fixing relationships are not the same activity, and they often require different approaches. When you reach out to your estranged adult child or children, is that behavior part of a well-thought-out reconnection strategy, as described in episode 144? Or are you reaching out instead of reaching in to something that needs soothing? Trying to reduce anxiety through contact with an estranged adult child is like groping around in the dark for a Band-Aid with a cut finger. You could end up with an injury that's worse than the one you were trying to treat. From what I've seen and heard from regretful parents, it's better not to engage with an estranged adult child when you're feeling anxious about them or your relationship. I know it's counterintuitive, but here's step number 4. Whenever possible, tackle anxiety first. without involving your child. Anxiety can actually prevent relationship repair because it escalates tension instead of reducing it, and sometimes forces a fast pace when slow and easy might be better. So whenever you notice anxiety during estrangement, attend to that before taking any action involving others, if at all possible. What are some ways to tackle anxiety? Well, you can use top-down approaches where your mind calms your body, such as affirmations or perspective checks. Or try a bottom-up approach and let your body soothe your mind with, for example, slow breathing, yoga, or massage. Personally, I prefer a bottom-up approach, starting with my body, because I just find it easier than trying to corral my thoughts. Being able and willing to manage anxiety internally is the first part of the roadmap to reconnection, which I introduced in episode 97. To introduce and practice a variety of these activities to help parents stay safely connected to their own experience, I host regular online meetings for members of the Reconnection Club. So do check out our Step 1 meetings if you're working on tolerating anxiety. Now, if despite top-down and bottom-up interventions, anxiety persists, both meditation and constructive wallowing can help you simply accept what's happening within yourself without having to change it, and with self-compassion. Sometimes to accept something is all that's needed to conquer it. Lastly, Step 5, make the most of your ability. As you develop your capacity to sit with anxiety, you might notice there are times when you feel less anxious or not anxious at all. During those periods, you'll have better access to the parts of your brain that are good at learning and planning. That's when you can make great use of educational resources, do some planning, or simply enjoy your life more. Yes, even during estrangement, you're allowed to enjoy yourself. If you'd like to hear me try to convince you of that, listen to episode 69, It's Okay to Enjoy Yourself During Estrangement, at reconnectionclub.com/69. Here again are those 5 steps to tolerating anxiety. Step 1, separate the trigger from the source. Your anxiety isn't caused by your child's behavior, it's triggered by it. Step 2, focus on the source, that is, your own body and mind. Step 3, separate the need to soothe anxiety from the desire to fix the relationship. Self-soothing and relationship repair very often require different interventions. Step 4, tackle anxiety first before reaching out to an estranged adult child. And Step 5, make the most of your ability. Notice when you arrive at a place of relative calm and use that internal peace and quiet to learn something useful, to consider next steps, or simply to savor other more pleasant aspects of life. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.